And everyone does have these, things and problems and concerns and just overall, their idea of what Mormons do. And personally, I don't care what religion you are. And I'm not a Mormon. I'm not trying to endorse you. I'm not trying to make people convert. I'm just saying from what I saw on that newscast, made a lot more sense than what I've thought of Mormons the past few years. But, would that make Mormonism, or whatever the fuck they call it, the official religion of America? If he got elected? Much like we could have had fucking Islam and praised Allah for all we fucking know when Obama was president. But that's another story for another time. The fact is, they actually care for their people in their church, for their people and what they do. And I'm not trying to downgrade any religion to anyone else, because I respect all religions. I've studied them. I have a fucking Buddha. I remember him for some reason. I don't know why. I just have a fucking Buddha. I don't know why. Just maybe, the whole thing of rubbing their tummy for good luck. I don't know. But at the end of the day, it really shows how deep politics and this candidacy really could be. And I'm just going to switch subjects because everything's going to get jumbled in here. Because speaking of the Olympics, the Paralympics, I think their opening ceremony is today. I'm not quite sure. I think it is. But, sorry about that. I was just getting to reply something there. But yeah, the Paralympics opening ceremonies, I think, are today. But they aren't shown in America, I don't think. They're not shown in the... Which is sad. Because we were talking about... The first one we were talking about was the Olympics. And that reminded me of Oscar Pistorius, basically the little Tink Tink thing, and I just call it Tink Tink, but the guy that had the double amputee that had the I don't know what they are. They look like metal ski things, but kind of like a cleat in a way. And I'm probably not describing it the right way, and I'm not giving it justice, but really, it was great seeing him run against able-bodied runners. And more importantly, running relays against able-bodied runners and getting the semifinals. Where I think Johan Blake or someone traded tags with him or named things with him. Or whatever they were, I don't recall. And that was a great moment, not only for the Olympics, but for people that are disabled. People that do have disabilities, people that do have people that are in wheelchairs, people that are not the brightest in the world, or even if it's just a little visual impairment, I don't know. Because the Special Olympics and the Paralympics are two totally different things. But at the end of the day, it's amazing that on one hand, we have these great things, but it also shows sometimes why we can't have nice things. Because I don't believe they weren't even shown in America. They aren't going to be shown, I don't think. But the good news is there is, I think, a YouTube channel that will be showing thousands and thousands of hours of the Paralympics for people that are not able to watch it, particularly maybe in America or some country that will not show it for some god-awful reason, which is ridiculous in my mind. Because the Paralympics and the Special Olympics are something deep in my heart, because I may not be disabled, I might not have my limbs cut off, I might not be in a wheelchair, but I still have a mental disability. And I think I've talked about it before, it's Asperger's that's on the autism spectrum, and, seeing me, knowing me, you probably wouldn't think that, you probably would. And I've seen comments of people saying they're retarded, but haters are going to hate. They're going to do this stuff to just get on your fire. And just me admitting that, shows what people could do to make things better in our world. And at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. And it's just ridiculous in my eyes that they're not even showing them in the United States. I don't even think they are. But again, I'll put that thing in the link in the description if I can find it. But at the end of the day, why are they not showing it? Because the Olympics got shitload coverage. They got four or five channels the whole 2 weeks. And Paralympics, depending where you live, they might have the same coverage. But depending where you live, they might not, which is ridiculous as well. And it's just disgraceful to how we help these people, but we don't show them the proper respect. And at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Because at the end of the day, you don't really know what you have till it's gone. And I've met several people that have disabilities, that have disorders, that have some kind of thing that's wrong with them. Hell, I went to a school that comprised of all that and helped all of them. So I know where I'm coming from when I say this stuff. Because it's just disgraceful that they are not getting the same recognition and respect that regular Olympians had. And we had a Paralympic guy run against able-bodied runners, get to the semifinals, run the relays, and was a national hero. Didn't matter if he won or not. I wanted the guy to win, but it is impossible that he was going to anyway. But to the fact that he even finished, and I went back to what I said earlier with my grandpa of Usain Bolt. But at the same time, he would have smiled. He would have loved seeing that guy in the track, coaching track for 30 years, and seeing something like that. He's probably seen something like that several times, and unfortunately, I don't have the chance to ask him this stuff. But at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about. To give it your all and still do the best you can, especially when there's a recent story on ESPN Sports Center of a little boy that had Bell's palsy, or cerebral palsy. Excuse me, I think it was cerebral palsy. I'm not quite sure. It's one of the two that made his legs, all wonky to the point where he could barely walk right, more or less run. On the field day, he ran maybe a 400 meter, or whatever it was. I don't recall the exact length of what it was. But at the end of the day, he ran full distance. And the whole school was cheering him on as he finished the race, as he was still competing. Because we knew he wasn't going to win the race. He wasn't going to get first. He was probably going to be last, but still. He pushed himself to the point where he made a difference. And at the end of the day, that's what life's all about. Making a difference in someone's life and showing them that you care. And to be honest, I don't really have anything else to say. And it's really something that people need to think about. Because we've seen the shit that we just saw in the past, 10, 30 minutes. But at the end of the day, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to help? And more importantly, if you are a Paralympian, are you still going to give your all and go for the gold? At the end of the day, that's what matters. And that's all I have to say about that.